Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Saturday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Before we get into everything, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. Want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. It's because of you guys, your likes, your subscriptions, your wonderful, wonderful comments that keep me going. Keep me motivated to do this kind of thing, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so, so much, and cheers to everyone. You guys are amazing. Your amazing comments. I love it. So I'm going to keep this Rush train going. Yesterday I did a comparison on two fine albums, in my opinion, Moving Pictures and Permanent Waves. I wish it was a, I wish they could make a double album, put everything together to make amazing album because both are just wonderful. I picked up the 40th anniversary of both of these albums. Remarkable stuff. So today I'm going to, and this is going to be a two-parter because of time, I'm going to rank their 19 studio albums from least favorite to favorite. I'm not going to say best to worst because every album is amazing, in my opinion. They didn't put out a bad album. It's just that some are more favored than others. So for time, I'm going to do 19 to 11, and then tomorrow I'll do the top 10 favorite albums. A lot of it came from this amazing little box set here. It's a cool stuff. The only thing I didn't talk about in that is this compilation album. I could talk about it at the end of it, and I probably will, depending on time. But let's get into it. We're already at 2 minutes here. So, number 19, again, no slouch of an album. A great, great album. It's just not my favorite. So we got 1989's Presto, the 13th studio album by the band. Again, this came from that box set, hence the thinness of the album, but great great stuff on this one. Show Don't Tell, great instrumentals and songwriting on this one. But a couple of the tracks just blend together. They're not as upfront as some of the later stuff. I like Scars and Superconductor. The last half of the album is really good with Anagram, Red Tide, Hand Over Fist, Available Light. Again, not a bad album. It's just not as strong as some of the others, but still an enjoyable album. Probably one that I wouldn't listen to as much as I would others, but a great album. Number 18, and this one could, I had this one higher, and it, all of these could jump up and down, depending on the day, I guess. This is Roll the Bones, 14th studio album, 1991 release. Okay, here again from that box set. Really good creative album, more straight ahead than progressive. Maybe some of their darkest material as well. But I love the title track, Roll the Bones. I love that rapping in the middle of it. I always thought it was Neil Peart doing it, but it's actually Geddy Lee doing it. They just changed his vocals on that one. You got Ghost of a Chance. Good solid album. Good solid album. It's, again, a cool stuff. I listened to this one a fair amount, but again, not as much as some of their stronger albums. I also have a CD version of this one, as well as the box set. Number 17, again from the box set, you've got Vapor Trails, 2002 for the 17th studio album. This is the remixed version of the album because the sound on the original one, it was just crappy. It's kind of a comeback album after the loss of Neil Peart's wife and daughter. They took a long break, a couple years break. And the band sounds good. They sound refreshed. And it's a really solid album. Um, it's not a synth-based album like a lot of their later stuff is, but it's just back to basics. You've got guitars, heavy mixes on this one as well. One Little Victory, Ghost Rider. It's also a really lyrically inspired album as well. You've got Peaceable Kingdom, Secret Touch. Wonderful comeback album on that one. That's number 17. Again, these could go up and down depending on the day. Number 16. You've got, and I've got this one also, I believe. No, it's not in that box set. Number 16, Hold Your Fire. After a break from their Power Windows tour, they came back with this awesome album. 1987 release, their 12th studio album. It's more accessible. I love the track Time Stands Still. It's one of the few, if only, track with a female co-lead singer. Amy Mann from Till Tuesday, amazing vocalist. I love Till Tuesday. It's a power ballad. The power ballad Second Nature is on here. It's also an emotional album. You got two cool tracks like Prime Mover and a mystical track like Taya Shan. The only thing I can say on this one is Alex is kind of put in the background as there's too much synth on this one. And that's what happened later on, is that I love to hear his guitar work. He's such an amazing guitarist. And the synth kind of overtake his parts. So I wish there was just more of that. But again, a good solid album. Number 16, Hold Your Fire. Number 15, and again I got from the box set, Snakes and Arrows, and a CD version of the same album. Number 15, 2007 release, the 18th studio album, Far Cry. Is kind of an anthem for all the hard work these guys have gone through since their beginning. I mean, they've been together since the second album. John Rutsey on the first album, an amazing drummer in his own right, but he was ill. He didn't want to tour, so they've got this tall, lanky, gangly guy in called Neil Peart, and they've been together ever since. And that's the cool thing about this band is that the lineup has remained the same, and they're best of friends. They love each other. You can just see it. They have fun, and so Far Cry is kind of an anthem for that. Those trial and tribulations that they had, because if you hear some of their interviews, they had tough times. They had a lot of tough times because their sound was unique. They weren't radio friendly in any way. It's a modern sound. Of a band that's been together again since that original trio started way back when. The instrumental on The Main Monkey Business features great playing by the guys. They all have their little moments. Far Cry is heavy and full of great riffs. Lots of great arrangements on this one. Well played, emotional album. It's really, really good. It's amazing stuff. So number 15, Snakes and Arrows. At number 14, again from that box set, you've got Test for Echo, 1996 release, the 16th studio album. A more guitar-driven album, which I love. I love it. Title track, is has some great progressive stuff on it, and then you got Resist and Limbo, which are more lighter tracks. Time and Motion is great. The only thing I wish on this one, I wish there were more solos on this one. I love Alex Lifeson's solos. But yeah, you got the title track, Test for Echo. You got Drives, Half of the World, The Color of Right, Time and Motion, Totem, Dog Years, Virtuality, Resist, Limbo, and Carve Away the Stone. In some cases, and some of the later albums, if they took off a couple of tracks, maybe the albums would be more accessible. But a lot of these are long, long albums, where their earlier stuff is like six songs, 5 songs. But of course, they're long, long songs on their own right. But Test for Echo is kind of that album. If it was a little shorter, it'd be a great, great album. But still, at number 14, it's good. Virtuality, a great progressive track. Really, really good stuff. That's number 14. The only one I don't have out of their discography, and I could order it. I was looking for it yesterday. I couldn't find it. Is Power Windows. It's the only album I don't have of these guys. The studio album. It's an 80s influenced album. 1985, the 11th studio album by the guys. Lots of synth and pop on this one. Big Money is a cool track. It's got some electric drumming on that, which, you know, it's on the song Mystic Rhythm, and the Dreamscape track Manhattan Project. Marathon has some cool instrumentals on it. It's just another direction the band would take. They've taken so many directions in their lifetime. The more you listen to this one, the better it gets. I've been listening to a lot of it on Spotify. Really solid album, kind of the middle of the pack. Power Windows, great, great album. Great, great album. At number 12, their last studio album. Really solid effort. I love it. It's amazing. This is Clockwork Angels. There's a great photo of the band there. And yeah, 2012, the 19th studio album. The last studio album, as I said, it's an impressive body of work. You got Caravan, BU2B, which is distorted and heavy, and Carnies. And the band, it's kind of beautiful and angry at the same time. But it's amazing, amazing stuff on here. And then the amazing Garden, which is the last song on the album. And the live version of that one, it just brings tears to your eyes. It's a truly great album. It's heavy, emotional, lots of layers. Almost technically perfect. These guys went out with a big bang on that one. It's an amazing album. Number 12. So if that one's amazing, there's the top 10 is so much more to offer. So in number 11, again from that box set, you got Counterparts. 1993's release, 15th studio album. A more alternative rock album and less progressive on this one. I love Animate and The Speed of Love. Stick It Out is kind of in your face as well. Lots of grunge on that one. The lyrics on this one are kind of angry and dark. Double Agent's a great track as well. Alien Shore, another one. You got the cool instrumentals going on. Leave That Thing Alone. Nice refreshing return to their guitar-driven sound on this one. Really good stuff. On their 11th studio album, Counterparts. So that's the end of the ranking. I will do the top 10 tomorrow. But one thing I did find yesterday, while looking for power windows, this great solo album by Geddy Lee. It's called My Favorite Headache. And it's remarkable. It truly is. It's a nice project by Geddy. November 14th, 2000 is the release on this one. Very accessible album. Really, really good. It hit number 52 in the Billboard 200. You got Geddy Lee on bass and vocals, of course. You got FM guitarist Ben Mink, who is an amazing guitarist in his own right. Violins, viola, which is quite the contrast, as he worked a lot with K.D. Lang. You know, that country Canadian, almost a yodeler type of singer. Amazing singer. She's got a beautiful voice. And Matt Cameron, who's the drummer for Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. So you got that heavy, heavy drumming. He sounds a lot like Neil Peart. It's a debut album by Geddy. It could fit into most later Rush albums, which I love. It just shows the amazing talent of Geddy Lee. It's really, really good. And he talks a lot about this. He talked about, Ben Mink is one of his best friends, and he talked to Ben, should I put out a studio album? Should I go into production? What should I do? And Ben Mink encouraged him to do this album, and I'm glad he did, because it's remarkable. It's going to fit right into my my Rush collection, because as you put it on and listen to it, you're thinking you're listening to a Rush album, but at the same time, it's more accessible. It's not as proggy. It's straight ahead rock, and again, some amazing guitar work, amazing drumming. Geddy sounds really, really good. Bass playing as well, and yeah, awesome stuff. Happy to find it. So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking from 19 to 11 on these awesome Rush studio albums. I'll continue tomorrow with my top 10. Again, just the studio albums. I will show some live stuff and things like that tomorrow, but I'll keep it as is today for time. Have yourself a wonderful day. Check us out today at 4 o'clock or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the amazing Canadian Stud Muffins channel, Mr. Larry Graves. I'll be part of that mix. I'm not sure who else is going to be there, but I look forward to it, as I always do. And have yourself a wonderful day. Love you all. Take care. Bye now.